Today's video is sponsored by Vendoo. Mwah. Hi everybody, I'm back from Mexico and I'm so excited to see this guy. I missed him so much. It was a long 7 days away. We saw Dave Matthews on the water. It was a 3-day concert, so we saw him 3 nights in a row. It was our first time at an all-inclusive. It was so much fun. Before I left on my trip, I filmed a Q&A with my assistant Tina. So we'll answer a few questions in the first part of the video. Then I have a little section in the center to let you see what we're doing during Thriftless February. And then we will finish all the Q&A at the end of the video. So it's so nice to be back. I missed you guys and I hope you enjoyed today's video. All right, we decided to bring the therapy dog with us today.
Oh,
Are you
yes.
with your Auntie Tina?
Do you love her so much?
Do you love her so much? He usually is up on her chair during lunch eating her yogurt. You giving kisses? Do you love her? All right, we got lots of questions for you, Tina.
I'm so excited.
Are you being fresh?
A little aggressive with the love.
You may have to come back in a bit.
All right.
Okay, so we have like 6 or 7 questions that I think Tina can help answer. And we're just gonna pick one and go. So thank you to everybody who wrote in. So T King 428 asks, how do you work best? Do you split tasks and work independently or work as a team?
Oh, well, I definitely think it's always a team based.
Team effort.
And we start off talking about what we have to do for the day.
Yeah.
Shipping is always first.
So when Tina comes in, if I'm on my game, depends on the day. She knows the tone when she walks in. Let's give a good scenario day.
Okay. I walk in, your labels are printed.
Yes.
You have a bunch of stuff already pulled, especially if it's a high volume sales night.
Right. Like if I have a whatnot show, I'll start printing the labels, folding the clothes with the labels on top.
It's super organized.
That's a good day.
Any day that we're shipping is a great day.
Right.
I am obsessed with shipping.
This is a good thing.
Yes.
Tina loves shipping, which is very exciting. But we will say this Monday, I was not on my A game. I think I was on the phone before you got here.
You were. I looked up sales, went downstairs, pulled them, then you print out the labels, and then we kind of chat a little while shipping is happening.
Yeah, that's true. So I guess as far as the roles go, I print the labels.
Yep.
And Tina will pull the inventory because Tina is now like head of operations. I mean, you have been for a while, let's be real. So Tina will go downstairs, pull the inventory that she knows where it is because she puts it all away and it's now finally organized. We're getting there.
We're getting there. Hey, it's been a ride. It's awesome.
It's been a ride. So Tina will pull the stuff and then I take care of all the eBay shipping because that requires some, weighing and stuff. It's all stuff that Tina could do, but she's usually busy packaging, running out to my garage to go through boxes and try to find boxes that are the right size. Or she'll show up with boxes from Target because she's like full service. She's amazing.
Lori's not the only shopper out there, friends.
I'm happy for your Target addiction. We do divide and conquer. A lot of days, like today, for example, Tina has been listing a lot of stuff that we didn't realize was unlisted. That's what we're doing during Thriftless February. And I'm editing a video. I'm going away. I need to have a few videos ready to go. I have one that needs to be approved by a brand. So oftentimes I will be editing while Tina is downstairs photographing. So she's pretty much like 100% photographer.
Right.
Inventory person.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shipper, on days
Steamer.
that I'm here. Steamer, cleaner. Sometimes I have to come up and give you a little bad news when I find something that we're super excited about and then I turn it, over.
She
and
creeps in. She's like, tell me you love me.
I do. I have said that numerous times. Please tell me you still love me. And
yes, because Tina's job is to catch the stuff that I miss. Right. And that happens often, especially with the bins or like I buy stuff and then it goes downstairs or I wash it first. So I wash the clothes. Or if Tina comes up and finds a stain, she'll say, is this worth let's treat this and then we also call Tina the sniffinator.
The term, it smells a little vintagey, has come out of my mouth once or twice. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're a good team.
We are, but we always have been the Tata and Tina team.
Yes, for those of you who don't know. I mean, most of you know by now. But
you could have people that don't know that we work together.
Tina and I worked together on and off for 8 years.
Oh. Yeah.
6 years straight. Right. And then we both kind of took a break from American Girl and came back. But we worked at American Girl at the Boston location, which is located in Natick, Mass. We were there for the opening and we were the Tata and Caro team because We worked in the
Right.
historical department.
Yep.
So many Saturdays, and we used to say, the line is to Josefina.
Exactly. Or out the door to Cheesecake Factory.
Yes,
And
when it was really busy. We had a lot of good times.
The Tata and Tina show, but also, like, she's my twin as a brunette.
Yes.
Like, we were
always smiling and happy to work with people. So that
we like each other.
that still holds true today.
Like I always say, Lori's the only person that I would smell clothing for.
I really appreciate that. Okay, favorite sale ever.
Oh my God. Okay, so as Lori just mentioned, we have a lot of years of American Girl under our belt together. I might have underestimated Lori's purchases for all those years. I have a daughter as well, and I have a tremendous amount of stuff in my house, not quite to the level of my friend Lori's. However, when I first came, she had this large winter sleigh that was just like in her dining room. And I'm like, okay, I started in September, so
It was there like 7 months later.
so
same
when
spot.
when that sleigh sold, might have been one of the happiest days for me.
Yeah.
Because we just need to move it. It's big, it's bulky, it's heavy.
Yes.
The shipping was a whole situation.
Yes, we taped her up well.
Right. So I feel like there was a lot of photos, there was a lot of laughs. I think there was some video that happened of it, and it was just so gratifying to get that out of your house.
It was really nice. I tend to be the person that can like step over things and pretend they're not there, and that is not Tina's personality at all.
You know what? And it's not that I don't have similar things in my own house, but
She doesn't.
definitely
She does not have similar things in her house. I can assure you.
Right. It's just, but for me, it felt so good because now it's going to go to somebody else's house. They can love it for their child, and you got paid, and it's out.
Yes.
Yes, and I'm Italian as well, and I know that at one point somebody might have commented on Lori talking with her hands. I am a hand talker as well, so
She's not going to
too.
gesture what she wanted to say to that person.
Exactly. I'm like, I'm trying not to, and I'm having a very difficult
You
time
use
not.
your hands,
Yes,
Tina.
I do.
We embrace who we are
Yes.
here. Tina is just grabbing some of the bags. We are back at it here in Thriftless February, going through clothing bin by bin, and today has been a doozy of a day. We found an Yves Saint Laurent shirt for men. It was in tote scan, but it wasn't listed or drafted on any platform. This new with tag Talbot's sweater, nowhere to be found. This new with tag J. Crew's sweater. I remember purchasing this in Martha's Vineyard. These all need to be photographed because the drafts, nothing existed for those. Lumpy is going to town on his little bone. These are items that we have delisted and relisted. Tina took everything out of the plastic just to give everything some fresh air because some of these things have been in here since 2021. These are some items that I got at the Goodwill outlet in New Hampshire, a bunch of these sleep shirts, and we decided to pull a bunch to sell on Whatnot because the cost was so low. They were new with tag and they were really cute. Some of them we left here. These are items that we're working on right now. This is a fun part of our job, isn't it, Tina?
I'm so happy to see my little friend Lumpy.
Yes.
Not that I'm not happy to see you, but
She's happier to see Lumpy. Over here, I have delisted and relisted, I think 12 items. And of course, we're going into Vendoo. We're seeing if the item is available. So let's maybe go through one, Tina. What are we looking up right now?
Okay, we're looking for this Talbot's Petites size medium, like a fall
Vest. Okay, Talbot's vest. Let's see if this is in Vendoo. It does exist. It is from September of 2022. So this is actually a really easy one because it does exist in Vendoo. It shows that it is listed on Poshmark. We are adding a SKU, which is the bin that it is in. Should our QR code fail us on tote scan, this is like our second line of checks and balances, so we know the SKU. So we're adding that to everything. And we are going to save this. And I have it priced at $30 for the vest, Talbots. That could be a little high, but people will offer. So we're going to delist and relist over here. And the great thing about Vendoo is that it will show this as a new listing. You don't need to go through the whole Poshmark thing where you have to copy the listing. It's just a delist and a relist. This was listed at a time where I wasn't very active on eBay, so it's not even listed on eBay. So now we are going to list this on eBay. So I will have to add some information here, like my shipping policy. We'll do $6.99 to ship that. This is a size medium. Style is a vest. Do we have that? It's quilted actually, and it's regular. And the material is, what do we have here? Polyester. eBay wants to know the material. It's part of the required fields that you have to fill in. So I will go down here to polyester, and we are all set. Oh, department. It's what's really nice about Vendoo too is if you forget something, it reminds you. And then we list on eBay. So now it is a new listing. It is listed in both areas. We have the SKU, the bin that it's in, and it's out of the packaging and folded and like a brand new item.
Like a brand new item.
All right, so we're gonna keep doing this. Okay, that wasn't enough torture.
We're going for more, starting on shorts.
To show you the process, we just grab a bin. So there are a lot of pairs of shorts in this bin.
So many denim.
Yeah, so we're gonna go one by one.
Exactly what he said.
We're gonna cry a little because we love going through inventory piece by piece.
Wow,
it's so
and
much fun.
so many.
But what we discover in these bins.
Yeah, and this is why we do Thriftless February.
Yeah, 5.5 years of never doing this.
Go through your stuff.
Okay, next question from Lois Melson. Lori, I enjoy your shows and your reselling tips. Thank you. Any suggestions for smaller sellers? I figured instead of me answering this question, Tina actually does have a Poshmark account.
Right.
And that was in existence before she started working for me.
Right. With a lot of times that I've met you, and I was like, so how do I do Poshmark? I'm really nervous. And it was prior to the pandemic. I watched a lot of Tata videos, and then the pandemic happened, and I was like, oh my God. So we always joke saying it was almost training for my job before I knew that I was going to work for you.
Yes.
But
we used to meet like once every couple of months for breakfast.
Exactly.
With a couple of our friends who used to work at American Girl, so we would catch up on like how business was going, how the kids were doing, and then Tina started asking questions about Poshmark.
I guess the biggest advice as just a small seller is go through your house. I know Lori has mentioned this numerous times. It is amazing when you empty out an entire closet and you lay it all out in your bed, or it's a cabinet or a bookcase or whatever, and you truly look at things that you wear or that you use versus what you don't, and just seeing what, you know, as Lori said to me a long time ago, there's a buyer for everything. She's totally right.
Because they may not buy your stuff right away.
Exactly. There are some things that I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe somebody bought this. And it was my daughter's t-shirt from when she was in middle school. I have a daughter and I have a younger son. It's amazing to me what sells. But go through your own house first before you thrift anything.
Yeah. That is the best advice, and that is a do as I say, not as I do, because that is not how I started my business.
Right. But I learned that from your videos, you know? So that's though they're really helpful, like just suggestions and tidbits, and
I did not pay her extra to say this.
Exactly. I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it. Like I think you know me well enough.
Yes. She's a straight shooter. How many things would you say in your closet have you thrifted? Like a number?
Oh, I don't know, maybe 100, give or take. I mean, I have
100 of your items have been thrifted?
No, have been sold. I'm sorry. I'm already answering the wrong question.
Yeah, no. How many items in your closet have you thrifted, would you say?
Personally, probably less than 25.
Yeah, that's
not
the answer I was looking for.
I will absolutely go to the thrift store with my good friend right here. That's like what we want to get on the books at some point for 2024. We need a field trip. But I am not a thrifter at heart.
And how many items would you say are in your closet? Or did you start
like 200.
with? Okay, so that's kind of the point. Like Tina is not a thrifter, but she still has 200 items, and she is anti-clutter person. So that's why she is a gift from God to me, because as much as we were alike enthusiasm and enjoyed working at American Girl, we are very different in other ways, and she is very uncomfortable with a lot of clutter. You're comfortable with my clutter. Like you don't judge me, but like in her own home, maybe she judges me a little bit quietly in silence. But in her own home, she doesn't have a lot of clutter. So all of the things in her closet are personal items. So if you're a smaller seller, okay, and what besides, because I feel like that addresses inventory. What are some other tips? Like, are you a big eBay seller? Do you like Poshmark?
I only sell on Poshmark. eBay definitely stresses me out a little bit. I've learned so much since I've been working for you, but even still, the shipping on eBay, if you've never done it before, it's a lot compared to Poshmark, whereas I feel like with Poshmark, you can use any box from the post office to Amazon to Target, whatever. Lori and I, the one thing that I think we are both is shipping and packaging, and a lot of that has to do with
Kind of came from American Girl.
If you purchased something from us in the store, you left with a beautiful bag with tissue paper, with stickers, all that. And that's something that, like, to me, I feel like a lot of your packages in my packages, when they get shipped out, they very much look sometimes nicer than things you get that are new from stores. And I feel like, but that's
I think we both take pride in that for sure.
And I feel like it does matter, because I know some people don't necessarily
And Tina
care.
reads all of your love notes. Susie Q really loved how we packaged this, and she loved the extra sticker or the whatever. And that stuff, it does make a difference. I think I notice when I get packaging that was, somebody cared about it. I don't think everybody has to do it to the level that Tina and I do it to, but I do think it makes a difference in your reviews and your love notes and the pride you take. And so I know that you do that as a smaller shop as well.
And again, like I said, it was just a lot of it learning, and watching Lori's videos. I mean, I was home during the pandemic. I had time. So
who are some other resellers? Because I'm feeling like we need to acknowledge some other people, because I know you watch some other people.
Okay, so I'm gonna forget their names. Jack
and Ryan.
Jack and Ryan.
Yes.
Love Jack and Ryan.
What do you think you get from their channel? What do you learn from Jack and Ryan?
They're younger. They're fun.
They're young and hip, unlike us.
Exactly. Jax is obsessed with Halloween, so I
Tina
love
is
Halloween.
too.
It's like my favorite holiday. Becky Park, I love her because she's just so down to earth, and I just feel like not afraid. Whereas I'm an overthinker. To have me on camera was a lot.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
I think start off and don't feel like if you open a Poshmark account, you have to have 5,000 things. You can have 20. You can have 5. See how you do.
You're actually better off having 20 really good things than 5,000 lousy things.
And I also think making sure I do not have an inventory system per se. I have an area that I keep my Poshmark stuff in. It's not QR codes or anything. I don't have enough to do that, but it's organized. Whatever way you organize that's gonna fit best for you, do it that way. And I'm a full circle person. So if I know that I'm gonna thrift a t-shirt, I get the t-shirt, I photograph the t-shirt, I create my draft, I do all that, I then put the t-shirt in inventory, get it away so that everything is complete. I think that's hard for me to not do that.
That has completely transformed my business, because I used to do a lot of, like, when I had Caitlin come, who was fantastic, she had more limited time.
Of course.
Like, she's
I'm here
like
longer.
3-hour shifts.
Right.
So she would come and I would say, you know what, like, don't worry about putting stuff in inventory, just take the pictures, which meant it left inventory up to me. And then sometimes things wouldn't get put away.
Right.
And then they would sell, and did I put it in inventory? Did I not put it in inventory? And so, as Tina always says, it's actually faster to just do it all in one sitting, because you're not going back and having to revisit
and
stuff.
You remember the brand and the size, and and the photos are right there on your phone. If I left, then at least everything that I've touched is put away.
Yes.
And you don't have to be like, well, where is that? Because there's nothing worse than not being able to find something that was sold.
We've experienced a bit.
It happens.
It happens.
But,
But yeah, I think the least amount of times you can touch your inventory, the better. And just like complete the loop. Okay, next up. Okay, I'm just hopping in here to thank today's sponsor. We're talking so much about Vendoo today, so I wanted to highlight them because they are such an integral part of my business. Vendoo is a cross-listing service that allows you to take one listing and post it to multiple platforms. They have over 10 marketplaces, so you can cross-post from Poshmark to eBay to Mercari, Etsy, Depop. Poshmark and eBay are my main platforms, and I've worked really hard in this past year to get my eBay listings to the same level as my Poshmark. For a long time, I used to list on Poshmark, but when I had to manually cross-list, I was not cross-listing every item, and now I'm trying to cross-list virtually every item that's on Poshmark to eBay, and Vendoo makes it possible. One of the features that we were using today that I use all the time is the delist relist feature. It's an incredible feature that basically breathes new air into your old listings, which to me is really important, especially in the month of February where I'm not thrifting. I don't have many new listings that I'm adding to my inventory, but you want to keep that algorithm happy and keep on listing new items. What it forces me to do when I'm delisting and relisting some of my items through Vendoo is I will look at that listing and see if it is where I need it to be. Does it have the keywords that I think are important in order to get more eyes on it? Do I have the size in the title? Is the description good? It is a really great way for you to comb through your inventory. This keeps all of your analytics in one place. You can see how things are selling on Poshmark versus eBay. You can see your best selling items in your analytics. And one of the great things about Vendoo that you saw with this video is that Tina knows how to use it. She will take the photograph, she will remove the background, which is now a feature that Vendoo has offered for some time now, where you can remove the background. It eliminates that separate step in your editing of photos. And you can also do it on the desktop. They have a mobile app and they also have a Chrome extension, so you can toggle between the two. I tend to do most of my Vendoo work on my laptop. Tina does a lot in the phone when she's taking photographs. Tomorrow, Tina is working from home. She will log into Vendoo and she will crop things. She can brighten things. She can add more to the description, any more details or nuances that are specific to eBay versus Poshmark. And then it's ready to go. I go in, I do the pricing, and then we make them go live. So we are constantly working back and forth on Vendoo, on our phones, on our laptops, at my house, at Tina's house, in the basement, all over the place. Vendoo is at the heart of my reselling business, and I cannot imagine my business without it. If you would like to give Vendoo a try, click the link in my description. You'll save 25% off your first month of service with Vendoo. Vendoo made a huge difference for my small business, and I believe it can do the same for you. Now let's get back to the Q&A. J. Kelly 2129 said, if you knew now what you didn't know when you started, ... And I think we just covered that. Right. Start with, I would say, start with your stuff at home. Know that you're going to make mistakes and it's okay. It's part of learning. Like you can be, ask Tina, because Tina's a very efficient person. She doesn't like to make mistakes. Right. She checks and double checks and triple checks and checks a fourth time. And sometimes things just happen. So know that you're going to make mistakes, learn from it, take that information with you moving forward. Anything else?
I feel like it's pretty new on Poshmark that your buyer can message you if you know something, like something sells, but then you go to package it up and you might notice a flaw that wasn't disclosed, something little. People appreciate when you're honest with them. Not that everybody's always honest, but
it may save you a return if you see something. And oftentimes, if I've found something, I'll disclose it or I'll message my buyer and they'll be like, oh, it's no problem. Like I remember I sold a pair of Birkenstocks, and when I went to ship them, the leather part was completely just, you could open it up from the cork, from the sole. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I
remember that. I was devastated. I'm like, how did I miss that?
Oh, yeah. I'm even thinking of, I don't even know if this was when you were here. It's happened before.
There you go.
But the customer said, oh, please don't worry about it. I'm resoling those shoes. I just want them for the leather. And I was like, okay, great. Yeah. They're coming your way. And, other times someone can be like, oh, that's a lot. Can you cancel the order? But yeah, I think communication.
Right.
That is great at any point of your business. MKB Vintage, hi hun, how are you? Asks, how did you decide when your business could afford to hire help?
You'd have to answer that, but you mentioned in a video, and like I said, I was watching Lori's videos, and she's like, I need an assistant.
I need an assistant. Yeah, well, I had Caitlin. I had 2 high school students. I think you just realize that there's a point in your business, well, at least this is what happened for me, where there were certain things that I was really good at, and there were things that I wasn't really good at. And inventory and crossing my T's and dotting my I's with operations was never a strong suit for me. I love YouTube. I love sourcing. I even love researching a lot. Like sometimes,
oh yeah, you're really good at that.
Yeah, I really enjoy that. So like if I get an item, I will go down a rabbit hole, like trying to find either stock photos or what the style number is. Even with my pen collection, I got like a vintage Mont Blanc and I'm like, well, what year is it from? And what kind of feed does it have? Like I really enjoy researching. So I think when you identify the things that you're good at or not good at or enjoy or don't enjoy, I was at the point where my business was suffering because I was putting videos out and items weren't listed, and they may not have gotten listed for 6 months. So I realized there came a point where I would actually make more money by having someone who can help me be more efficient and do the things that I kind of struggled with. I always enjoyed taking photographs, but it was just time consuming. And as my YouTube channel grew, I now earn income from YouTube. I have for a while between ad revenue and brand partnerships and stuff. So I think the extra money that I made on YouTube, it gave me the opportunity to be able to hire Tina and Caitlin and the people who came before. If you're not on YouTube, you can still reach a point. I think you just have to look at your numbers at the end of the month, see how much you're making, and then try to figure out the value that an employee would add. Tina adds a ton of value. And so sometimes when she comes in and she blows through like 20 items that I have hanging downstairs, if all of those items sold for $20 a piece, we're talking about hundreds of dollars that otherwise would not have even been listed, not ever given the opportunity to be sold.
Right. And I feel like, Lori and I have known each other for so long. I also feel comfortable with being like, so the one part that I don't do is I will create a draft, but I don't price things.
Right.
That's a very personal thing, and that you want to make sure you do the research. And I would just feel awful if I underprice something or, just...
So currently we have about 120 items that have been drafted, the backgrounds removed, the research done, and all I have to do is price it and make it go live. So sometimes Tina will now work from home and she'll scooch in because I think the light is starting to... Yeah, the light's coming in on you. Tina can do stuff at home now and then she'll be like, okay, you have 50 items ready to go. You just have to price them.
We communicate all the time. Your video just went out. All right, so we have drafts of this, but also you got a lot of requests 2 videos ago, and that, we have a draft for that, so let's make it go live.
So I think it's a personal choice when you decide to hire someone. I've always said this, I am not the main earner for my family. My business has always been supplementary to my family. I was a stay-at-home mom for over 20 years. I worked at American Girl part-time on and off for 10 years. So it was very easy for me to replace American Girl money. It would not be easy for me to replace my husband's salary or even what I was making like full-time as a teacher, like, fast forward if I were still working. So that's a very personal decision. But for me, it came down to having Tina here enabled me to list more items, make more money so that I could pay Tina. That's really...
And I also think the other piece is trust.
Oh, trust is
trusting someone. Like I remember when Lori first talked about it in her video, like I said, that's how I found out she was looking, I knew that she had college girls, and it just, the timing worked out because they were going off to college and, I was looking to make a change. I'm an extended member of the Tata family. Sure. Now, granted, I knew them for a long
She sees like the 19-year-old boys like come out from the basement.
I have one of those at my house as well, yes. Trust is a key thing because I remember when I was super nervous to make one of your drafts go live.
Yes.
And I was like, I can't do that. It's your, and that now I'm like, all right, I need pricing.
There are very few people that I would trust as much as and I am a trusting person.
Oh, very much so.
But I mean, Tina uses my phone. Tina has the code to get into my house if I'm not here, and there aren't many people. So that is actually a really good point to make because you do have to feel comfortable, unless you have a virtual assistant and somebody's working remotely, then trust isn't as much of an issue, but your business is very personal to you, so you want to make sure that you can trust whoever you are working with.
And especially if that virtual person makes things live and if
has
they get
access
into pricing or anything like
that. That was a good question. How many hours per week does Tina work?
It varies. Sometimes minimal, sometimes like less than 10, sometimes usually no more than 20.
No more than 20. I would say that in an ideal week, Tina would work 2 days, and she works 6-hour shifts. So she works from 9:30 to 3:30, and we have kind of a chatty break that is just included with her day. Because I feel like Tina usually works off the clock. She signs into my Whatnot shows. She does a lot of work on her own.
I like to know when I'm in the comfort of my own house in my PJs. Usually I go into Lori's Boston Found Poshmark before I go into my Poshmark, just because I like to see what sells. I like to see what people are commenting on, and that's the stuff you don't like. The comments that I don't mind.
I appreciate that because I sometimes have limited time to check all that out.
Of course, you have a lot. So.
But so I would say on average you work about 12 hours a week, and then sometimes she'll work like an hour from home editing inside Vendoo. She's a Vendoo pro now.
I love Vendoo. Yes, no, I was a little afraid of that as well, not having a listing
background like with all that stuff. But I think also with someone you work with or when you hire someone, you can start small. Like at first it was really just the pictures you were taking. And then started with inventory, and then it was like, let's dig into Vendoo, and like now, like she's really comprehensive. But you've been here since September of 2022,
right?
So we're like a year and a half in now, which is crazy.
We are touching everything.
Please don't quit ever. Sometimes she comes, I'm like, damn, she showed up again. She came back.
God. Lori is the only boss in the world that when I walk in, she's like, would you like a coffee? And thank you so much for coming to work. I'm like, oh my God. But how could you not come to work for Lori or have Lumpy as your coworker?
Right? Lumpy is a perk. Lumpy's a perk.
He is, oh my God, just such a love. I love him so much.
Yes, they need like a moment when she walks in every day.
I like to come in a good 10 minutes before I really need to be here so I can have Lumpy love.
Lumpy time, yes. Florida Woman Finds says, Tina, would you ever consider reselling as a hobby or a business in the future? We kind of covered that. Yeah. She's doing it. The Littlest Lightbulb _thrift asked, does working for you make Tina want to sell more online for herself?
Oh, yes, because I have to say there's some things when Lori's like, oh, let's look at like the books. I'm like, I have books at my house. Like, I have to tell you, when Lori went through all of the American Girl doll stuff.
We're still going through it.
I went home and mentioned it to my daughter, and we pulled all of her stuff out of the attic. Sadly, at my house, you know how much we're selling? 0. I don't have quite as much as Lori has at her house, but we have a significant amount, and my daughter wants all of it.
Yeah, Tina and I often joke that Morgan should be my daughter and Angelina should be hers. Because Angie wants to throw everything away, and Morgan wants to save everything, and Tina wants to throw everything away, and I like to
donate, or just like get it, like a happy day was pulling into work when Jay had the dumpster delivered. Oh yeah, I was so excited.
Jay and Tina were like high-fiving each other.
Right. I'm like, oh my God, Jay is my separated at birth brother.
Absolutely. So I think we covered most of the questions for Tina. I put this post out this morning, and now it's the end of Tina's shift and the sun is coming down. Right. So these are the questions we got to. I think that was wonderful to have you here, Tina.
Yeah,
Thank you so
great.
much.
This is great. And honestly, watch Lori's videos. I'm saying that completely honest. Prior to working for her.
Totally objective.
No, but helped me so much because I was a little overwhelmed with the beginning of selling things on Poshmark, and you made it super easy. Like, I don't know if you don't know, the free boxes at the post office that you can order. I had no idea.
Right.
So those little things make a huge difference, and at the end of the day, you want to get as much money as you can for what you're selling.
Yeah, because this is not, it's hard work. It's a lot of checks and balances. I don't really do a lot of like those helpful tip videos anymore.
Well, you've done a million of them.
Yeah, I have some playlists. If you want like reseller tips, I have like shipping videos. I have from the store to your door, and my 5 pillars of thrifting and all that stuff. So there's a lot. But thank you.
Oh, thank you. Love you.
Thank you so much. I love you. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Tina, for being here.
Thank you, everybody.
And let us know if you have more questions for Tina.
Here comes Lumpy.
Come on, Lumps.
Come here. Hi, baby.
Where's Auntie Tina?
Where's Auntie Tina?
Sweetie.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
She's a little aggressive friend.
They get a lot of
and
love.
I love it. Oh boy.
We're gonna end on our little love fest here. Okay, thank you guys. Thanks again to Vendoo for sponsoring today's video. Be sure to click the link in my description. You'll save 25% off your first month of service.